If you're watching this, you took the assessment and it came back as either the conditional or the inherited path. Both sit in the same group: identity and self-worth. Now, three things we're going to discuss over the next few minutes. First, the problem and the consequences, then how you can get out of this, and thirdly, what happens to your life and your career if you get out. Now, with both the inherited path and the conditional, your sense of self-worth, of who you are, is conditional on something outside of you. It could be on your role, the title, and the name on your business card, and are on the results you achieve, the promotions you get, the money you make, and or whether or not you're following the path you unconsciously believe others expect from you. Now, what these three potential reasons can have in common is that your self-worth is dependent on approval by others, which can be earned by meeting expectations and delivering. So self-worth is conditional. And apart from being conditional, it's often also partly outside of your control. And this all makes it very fragile. And the impact on this is real. And it comes back in two main ways. This is what I see with clients. First, their inner feeling is often a feeling of anxiety. They always have to perform and they can't drop the ball. But even if things do go well, there's always this nagging feeling of, I have to keep up with this and I can't afford to become complacent. Secondly, it comes back in their relationships and at home. They're tired when they get home. They're not patient. They're not present with their family, with their friends. And their partner and their kids, they feel it. And the last place where you want people to get used to this is at home. And here's the uncomfortable paradox. This doesn't get better with time. In fact, it gets worse. The whole idea of, if I'm successful, then I'll be happy and relaxed, doesn't work. In fact, it's the opposite. The more senior you get, the more you have to protect and the more fragile you become. The good news is that there's a way out by strengthening your psychology. Currently, you live by the rule, I'm only okay if I do X. You need to get rid of this. Now, I spent 17 years in the financial services industry. And I had to work on this myself before I could help anybody else. First of all, you want to strengthen your core beliefs you have about yourself and be able to say, I'm okay, no matter what happens. Then you can rewrite the conditional rules to a more empowering perspective. This is not an affirmation. This is an actual rewire. So for the inherited path, this work also gives you back the freedom to actively choose your next chapter, including your own career. If this is something you want, there's a separate program that I built for this. Now, once you decouple your self-worth from delivering results and are walking the expected path, things will really change for you. Everything will become lighter. At work, the constant anxiety stops draining your energy, leaving you feel more focused and deliver better work. Now, here's the second paradox. By being less dependent on success, you actually become more successful as you become more focused and more deliberate. Outside of work, you have more energy for things you actually enjoy. Plus, for your relationships, these will improve as you become more present. Finally, you become more resilient and bounce back quicker from setback because your sense of self-worth is no longer riding on your outcome. Now, if you want to have a clearer view on how this shows up for you and a real plan for what to do about it, I invite you for a 30-minute roadmap call. On this call, you share your specific situation on which we construct your plan together. The candidly is in the email. Whether or not we end up talking, I hope these last few minutes were useful for you.